Good, happy Wednesday afternoon, November 18, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this afternoon, so let's begin. First up, coronavirus in New Hampshire, key information and data. Let's take a look at that information right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 15,303 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 11,330,842 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 502 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 817 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 224 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 413. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 2906. And now let's take a look at the three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalization and red deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases. And in the orange, current hospitalization. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, total hospitalization. Red, deaths, and blue, recovered. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate and daily PCR test. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases. Female and male of cases and risk information. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Growing waits at COVID-19 testing site. Officials urge vigilance around gatherings. Officials advise negative tests is not a free pass to travel. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Amy Cavino.
Come experience the grand opening of Floor & Decor's newest location in the New England area. Our
message around Thanksgiving is be very, very careful. These numbers are real. The surge is very real. And again, keep your gatherings limited, hopefully to just the immediate family.
It seems everyone needs or wants a COVID test right now, but health officials say a negative test is not a free pass to mingle or travel or not wear a mask. The incubation time of the virus makes it impossible to predict.
There's a fairly wide time period where the virus could be sort of replicating in your body and the test may not pick it up.
Things may seem quiet at the JFK Coliseum, but the free testing clinic is by appointment only, and all 300 appointments through the health department in Manchester are booked this week.
If you're going to a primary care office where you seek your medical care, they're probably more likely to only test you if you're symptomatic. Our location will test people regardless of symptoms.
The testing, the mask wearing, the social distancing isn't about you, say health experts. It's about those you love. The transmission is silent and invisible.
But we have to be mindful that not all of our family members may have a robust immune system.
COVID fatigue is real, but Governor Sununu is urging Granite Staters to buckle down for just a few more weeks.
We have a vaccine coming. There's a bright light at the end of this tunnel.
New information about a vaccine is starting to emerge. It may be a 2-injection process and may not be widely available until spring 2021. Reporting live this evening, Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester Aldermen pass resolution encouraging people to wear face coverings. Resolution is non-binding. On Tuesday night, officials in Manchester voted to pass a resolution encouraging people in the city to wear face coverings in public buildings when social distancing is not possible. Aldermen voted 7-6 to pass the resolution, although no one will be penalized for not following it. The resolution read in part, the purpose of this resolution is a good faith effort to discourage close interfection with other persons who are not related or who do not generally and regularly socialize, to maintain at least 6 feet distance from one another, and to increase our awareness that when we are within that distance that we should wear a face covering. The resolution city leadership at the city's largest healthcare providers are having all express support for face covering requirements. Long-term care facilities stay cautious, find ways to lift resident spirits. Lesson learned early on impacting second wave of COVID-19. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
Mount Carmel Rehabilitation and Nursing Center in Manchester had a COVID outbreak in May. One asymptomatic staffer, leading to 27 cases in the building and 6 COVID-related deaths. They've kept their guard up, keeping COVID out since, but administrators say COVID fatigue among staff is one of their biggest concerns as the second wave hits.
And reminding them that it's going to be them that brings it into the building and not a resident to them.
Lessons learned having gone through it once.
Supplies in the beginning were short. We're feeling better now today than we did back then. Are we 100% confident? No, because we still don't know what will happen with staffing if an outbreak occurred. That was a big thing that hurt us when the people, left.
Their fellow Catholic Charities Center in Berlin spared so far.
The luxury of time to educate our staff has helped, but with it closer to the neighborhood, it definitely has ratcheted up the awareness, if you will.
As time wears on, keeping spirits up has been key.
Staff are taking the time to sit with the residents and provide that little extra attention because the families can't, because they're not allowed to come into the building.
So that's the kind of stuff that really pulls on your heartstrings.
They say it's been especially tough for the upcoming Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, knowing that most families that want to spend time with their loved ones won't be able to. We're live in Portsmouth, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Conquered woman pays for multiple strangers' groceries, hopes to inspire act of kindness, plans to continue giving to the community. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jessica Moran.
Did something on a whim that has people talking.
I paid for that person, and then I said, okay, one more, and I ended up paying for like 8 people's groceries.
Brandy is a Concord mother of 3, including 2 energetic school-age boys. One day last week, she decided to pay for others' groceries amounting to over $600.
with the pandemic and everything and all the election stuff, you know, I just wanted to bring smiles to people's faces.
Brandy gained attention when a cashier posted the story on Facebook. Brandy says she's not rich, but she wanted to give back because the community recently held a parade and mailed gifts for her 7-year-old son's birthday. She says Thomas originally thought the pandemic would put a damper on any kind of celebrations.
And what did you say your birthday was?
Epic.
Yeah, epic.
Brandy's gratitude isn't ending with the grocery shopping last week. Tonight she was in Hooksett buying groceries for someone else in need.
She was crying and she said, "Thank you so much. You don't understand what this means to me. You know, it's so hard to reach out and ask for help."
Brandy says her giving spirit comes from her late mother, who set a positive example. And while Brandy's not struggling now, she understands those who are.
We've been on both ends of the spectrum, so to speak. And it's not a good feeling when you don't know where you're going to get food for your kids.
This weekend, Brandy will continue giving back by buying Thanksgiving dinner for 2 families. In Manchester, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for joining us for this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.